friends, welcome back. We are continuing on with our health laws or nature's healers, and now we are on to health law number 6, and this is air, something you don't even think about. One of my favorite authors, Ellen G. White, who wrote in the book Healthful Living, page 72, said this: "Air, air, the precious boon of heaven, which all may have, will bless you with its invigorating influence if you will not refuse it entrance. Welcome it. Cultivate a love for it, and it will prove a precious soother of the nerves." From the eagerly awaited first cry of the newborn to the last gasp of the dying, life is completely dependent on breathing in adequate oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. Number 1 in first aid, it always ensures that the airway is open for breathing. Brain damage, believe it or not, begins to occur within the first after 4 minutes with no air. We can survive weeks without food, days without water, but only a few minutes without oxygen. Getting air in is so important that God made breathing automatic, even when we sleep. So respiration consists of taking air, which is 21% oxygen, into our lungs and breathing out carbon dioxide. That is the waste product of metabolism. The respiratory tract includes the nose, the nasopharynx, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchi, and the bronchioles, which lead to over 300 million air sacs, or alveoli, from which the O2 passes into our blood. Nature provides plenty of O2 as plants and trees breathe in the CO2 and breathe out the O2 required by humans and animals. So where do we get plenty of pure air? Why, in the country, of course. Internal respiration is the passage of the O2 from the lungs into the blood. Here we see this illustration. Then O2 is carried by the blood to every single cell in our body. Fuel is then burned in the cell for energy using the O2, and then this produces the CO2, which is carried back to the lungs and then breathed out. Isn't that amazing? Get the best air. The atmosphere, sunshine, and the breaking up of water droplets around waterfalls and ocean surf provides negatively charged ions in the air. The more negatively charged the air, the more O2 in the air, and the healthier for you and the more exhilarated you feel. Have you ever noticed when you go to the ocean, it's like, oh, there's just something about being by the ocean, and that's why. Isn't that amazing? Get the best air. Negative ions are called happy ions, and positive ions are called grouchy ions. Air pollution and smog decrease negative ions. Negative ions are lost indoors because they adhere to walls, fabric, and air conditioner ducts, so they get outside. Too much positive ions causes headaches, dizziness, nausea, and an increased feeling of fatigue. So here are some recommendations. Open your doors and windows in the home for a few minutes every single day. Sleep with the windows either fully or partially open at night. Also, it's really important to keep decaying materials away from the home, germs and mold. Cut down on chemical usage in the home too. There's so many wonderful now products that you can use to clean that are natural or organic. Nasal sprays also and nose drops can be overused, which aren't good, causing swelling and inflammation in your sinus passages. Do all you can to supply good, clean air as food for those lungs of yours. City air, as we know, is very polluted. Carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons mostly come from cars. Sulfur oxides come from burning coal and fuel oils. Particulate matter, which would be particles or of solid or liquid matter, come from industrial complexes. Nitrogen oxides come from autos and steam power plants. Chemical oxidants, smog, sunlight is reacting on hydrocarbons. So, the number one air hazard is tobacco smoking. Now, my husband, who could not be here, which is really sad, he's a respiratory therapist, and he's a very good, well, he's retired now, but he was very good in his field. And he was also a tobacco intervention specialist. He did smoking cessation, so he knows how bad tobacco is. Smoking is so bad for you. It causes smokers' lungs. Side stream, believe it or not, or secondhand smoke also harms those that come in close contact to the smoker. Smoking is the largest single cause of preventable disease. Not only lung disease like chronic bronchitis, emphysema, lung cancer, but cancers throughout the body, and 1/3 of all heart disease comes from cigarette smoking. Here again is my favorite author on health, Ellen G. White, in the book Healthful Living on page 72 says, the influence of pure fresh air is, number one, to cause the blood to circulate healthfully through the system. Its influence is decidedly felt upon our mind, and it actually imparts a degree of composure and serenity. I don't know about you, but we all need more composure and serenity. And believe it or not, it even excites the appetite and renders the digestion of food more perfect. And it induces sound, sweet sleep. There you go. That's all you need to hear or know about air and how beneficial it is to you. Thank you, and God bless you.